Diane Abbott has been suspended as a Labour MP over a letter she wrote about racism to The Observer. In it, she said that many types of white people with points of difference can experience prejudice, but they are not subject to racism all their lives. She added that in pre-civil rights America, Irish people, Jewish people and traveller people were not required to sit at the back of the bus. In apartheid South Africa, these groups were allowed to vote, and at the height of slavery, there were no white-seeming people manacled on slave ships. Miss Abbott was responding to a comments piece in The Guardian which questioned the view that racism only affects people of colour. Labour said the comments were deeply offensive. Abbott will not be able to represent the party in the House of Commons pending an investigation into the letter. Groups such as Labour Against Antisemitism said the comments were simply unacceptable and called on Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer to remove her whip. Starmer promised tough action to root out antisemitism when he became leader in 2020. Earlier today, he had this to say.
What she wrote yesterday, I utterly condemn. And I said we would tear out anti-Semitism by its roots. I meant it, and that's why we acted so swiftly yesterday. I think it's a mark of how far the Labour Party has changed, that we acted so swiftly and that we take it so seriously. But I condemn what she said.
Under his predecessor Jeremy Corbyn's leadership, concerns that anti-Semitism was on the rise within the party led to the party being investigated by the Equality and Human Rights Commission and being found to have acted unlawfully. Mr Corbyn is still suspended from the party after comments he made which suggested the scale of the problem had been overstated. Ms Abbott served as Shadow Home Secretary in Corbyn's cabinet between 2016 and 2020, and she defended him and the party a number of times over the issue.
We in this party take anti-Semitism very seriously. Nothing is gained. Nothing is gained by accusing the leader of Her Majesty's opposition of being an anti-Semite.
Shadow Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Pat McFadden, said Labour had no choice but to suspend Ms Abbott over her recent comments.
What Diane Abbott wrote to The Observer was wrong historically. It will have been offensive to many people. There should be no hierarchy of victimhood when it comes to talking about racism, and I think that the Chief Whip and our party leader, Keir Starmer, had no option but to suspend her yesterday.
Abbott's released a statement on Twitter to say she was withdrawing her remarks and apologised for any anguish caused. She said errors arose in the initial draft letter that was sent, but that there is no excuse. Racism takes many forms and it's completely undeniable that Jewish people have suffered its monstrous effects, as have Irish people, travellers and many others. However, the Board of Deputies of British Jews described her letter as disgraceful and the apology entirely unconvincing. Labour have declined to comment on when an investigation into the letter will begin.